Next up we've got our gumbo. This is going to be a Cajun gumbo, not a Creole gumbo. That means there's no tomato and then there's no butter. So we're going to start out before we do anything by having our mise en place. This is the most important thing you can do here. This means everything in its place. So I have everything chopped up in the proportions it needs to be in for us to succeed in this recipe, ready to go. Start off by making a roux. This is the most dangerous and this is also the most important part of this process. This is going to be a Cajun roux, so it's going to be really, really dark and it's going to be really, really tasty. So I'm going to add the oil and flour into the pot, wood spoon, and we're going to make sure that we've got nothing else going on right now because this is going to take all of our attention. We don't want to walk away. We don't want to scorch this at all, but it's going to get really hot and real intense. So we want to keep it moving, keep it going. And I'm going to show you at different points what it looks like as we go through this process. So we're at the first stage of the roux making process. This is the blonde roux or light roux. Okay. All right, so this roux has been on the stove for about 5-10 minutes, and we're starting to get to the brown roux stage. So if you look, it's got nice and tan. If you could smell this, it's really nutty and aromatic. All right, so we've reached that stage of the red roux or Cajun roux. It's really dark. It's gonna be like a milk chocolate color or like refried beans in color. You can see it's kind of crumbly in texture, so it's a little bit different than it was before. So once we're here, everything's gonna move really fast, so let's hold on to our hats. All right, we got the onions. And since all the water has already been cooked out of that roux, it's been able to reach over 212 degrees, over boiling temperature. By adding in these veggies, it's gonna bring that water back into it, and it's gonna lower the temperature, and that way the flour doesn't cook anymore, because we do not want it to burn. Okay. Everybody's going in. And it's going to be at this point that the whole house is going to flock your way to see what's going on. It smells really, really delicious in here. There goes the garlic. All right, so everybody's in the pot. We're going to kind of let it cook together for just a couple minutes just to start sweating some of those vegetables, getting some of those aromatics and those flavors out of there. All right, so our vegetables are sweated for about 3 minutes. We're going to add in some of our spices. We want those to toast off. That's really going to take out those oils from the spices and get them really fragrant. So I'm going to start with cayenne. And remember here, you can always add more. You can't take it out. So go a little bit lighter than what you think you should, just in case it's a little bit spicier than you think it will be. Okay? So a little bit of cayenne. This is the Cajun seasoning. I'm going to go a little bit heavier with this guy because it's not so spicy. It's just nice and floral. And just a pinch of salt. Again, we can add more later. Okay. Next up is our chicken stock. So we got everybody ready, nice and thick in here. Now when we add liquid to a roux, you want to do it a little bit at a time until this mixture becomes more of a liquid than a solid. And you'll see what I mean as we go through here. So I'm going to add a splash here. Mix everybody together. And this technique that I'm doing right here is going to stop everything from clumping. You're not going to get any lumps of flour or anything in there. Okay. So all the liquid's absorbed. We're going to add a little bit more. Okay. It's getting almost pasty. All the liquid's absorbed. We'll keep going. And as you add more and more liquid, it's going to be easier and easier to stir. And there's going to be a point where this is just going to flow on its own, which is probably going to be right here. Okay, so if I run my spoon through it, it doesn't leave any trail behind it. It's all flowing. So at this point, all that flour, all that roux is incorporated into the liquid, and we can just dump the rest of this guy in there. So our gumbo's come to a boil now. I'm going to take it off heat. We're going to add in the chicken. We're gonna add in the andouille. We're gonna give this a little final taste. Make sure our seasoning is right on. Oh, baby, call your mama. All right, so we're gonna do a plating of this guy. I like to take a nice big old scoop potato salad right in the middle of the plate there. Then we're gonna take this awesome gumbo and go right around it. Now, one note about this is that, like any stew, it's gonna taste better the second day when everything gets, the flavors all get to melt together, everything comes together real nice. But I'll tell you what, you're not gonna keep it away from me for a day. All right, nice and full, nice and meaty. When we serve this up, take a little napkin, clean the edges, make sure everybody's pretty and nice. And there you go. That's your Cajun gumbo.